Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We are learning Mishna Beitza, Parak Beis, Chapter 2, Mishna Zayim, Mishna 7. Today's learning is sponsored by Barry Steinberg for Lazech Nishmas in memory of his paternal grandmother, Rachalea Basnata Meir, whose yahrzeit is today, the Shama Shavan Aliyah. Afhu Amar Shloish Devarim Lahakel. Previous Mishnah I mentioned the Rebbe Gamliel was stringent like Beis Shammai in certain things. And here we say but the same Rebbe Gamliel regarding other things, three other things, was actually lenient more than the rest of the sages. We'll just translate and then we'll explain it. Mechabdim and amitais, we may sweep between the couches. And we may place incense on burning coals on Yantif. We may prepare, roast a young goat in the manner of makulas. On the night of Pesach, we'll explain what that means. The Chachamim Oisrin and the Chachamim forbade. So let's go through each one. The first one is Mechabdin Asamitis. You can sweep between the couches on which people were reclining when eating. So that's how they ate in times of the Mishnah. They were reclining on these couches, and food would fall in between the couches. So the question is, are you allowed to sweep up between the couches or not? Now, everybody agrees that when you have a dirt floor, to go sweeping up the floor is a problem, because as you sweep the dirt, it's going to fill in kind of like ditches or holes that there are in the floor, and that's going to even out the floor, and that is prohibited to do on Shabbos or on Yontif. That's considered bain, that's considered building. According to Rebbe Gamliel said, if we're just talking about between the beds, which is a small area, so the chances are of filling in any kind of holes or ditches, leaving the floor isn't really going to be much of a not that much of a concern. It's a small area. It's not the kind of area that's typically going to happen. That's going to typically happen within, and therefore he said that you can go ahead and sweep between the beds. That was the first thing that he was lenient about. The second thing was to place incense on burning coals on Yontif for the purpose of giving out a pleasant aroma. Now, burning something, right? We're not talking. It's not food here. We're not eating food here. We're burning the incense, so it's not a fruit preparation. Nonetheless, Rebbe Gamliel was following the opinion of Beis Hillel we mentioned previously, using the principle of mitaych. Once you have a certain malacha that's permitted for the purpose of food preparation, it can be used for any yontif need. So abara, burning, creating a fire, burning something is burning something is mutter in order for the purpose of cooking, to eat, to prepare food, so you could use it to be able to burn the incense too. So therefore, again, he was lenient in that. The third part is very interesting. They made a gedi mekulas. Now, a gedi is a goat. Mekulas means, there's different translations to the word mekulas. Some say it means like it appears like a armed soldier, or it means that it's beautified. But the point is that on the night of Pesach, there was this practice to roast a gedi, and to roast it in the same manner that they used to roast the Korban Pesach. That's how we would do it. The way they would do it would be where you had, the Torah tells us that let me just read it from the way the Bartanura lays it out, of, right, when they would roast it, its innards and its legs were outside of it, next to it. They did this to commemorate the Korban Pesach, the Paschal sacrifice, which was roasted in that way. So Rebbe Gamliel said, you can do that, even though you're not doing a Korban Pesach. You're not meaning to do a Korban Pesach. You're just roasting the gedi, the goat, to eat by the Seder. But at the end of the day, they did it this way in order to remember the Korban Pesach. Rebbe Gamliel said it's okay to do. The Chachamim Oisrin, however, the Chachamim forbade all these three things. According to Rebbe Gamliel was concerned that if you're going to be, if you go ahead and you sweep in between the beds, then the problem is you may come to sweep the rest of the floor. So therefore, the Chachamim said no sweeping at all. when it came to the mugmar, when it came to putting the incense, so the halach, the pshat is like this. This is very, very interesting. Let me read to you from the notes how they explain it. The Torah states that you could get that which is achasher yo'achal l'chol nefesh. Is that what it says? By ochel nefesh, by cooking on yontif. Achasher yo'achal l'chol nefesh. Whatever is eaten l'chol nefesh by all people. That the Chachamim learned from there. That something that is permissible on Yontif has to be shaveh l'chol nefesh. It has to be something that all people participate of. So even if you have something that essentially should be permissible because it's a Yontif need, and we apply the principle of mitaych that says once you can do a fruit preparation, you can do it for other Yontif needs. But if it's not shaveh l'chol nefesh, if it's not done for the purpose, if it's not done by people in general, you can't do it. This mugmar, this burning the incense, it was done for people who were particular about the aroma, about the smell in the room. It wasn't a typical thing that people did. It was something that people who were very finicky, delicate, whatever it was. There were certain people who did this, but it wasn't a generally practiced thing. If it's not something that's not shaveh l'chol nefesh, that's generally practiced, that you can't do on Yontif. That's why they forbade burning the incense. And the third part about the Gedim Mekulas, about roasting the goat, the same way they used to roast the carbon pesach, which could be brought from a goat. There, the problem is, the Chachamim said, we're afraid people are going to think that you're roasting carbon pesach. That here it is, there's no Beis HaMikdash. You're going ahead and you're making a carbon pesach without the Beis HaMikdash. That's what you're going to think you're doing. And that would, and let me read it to you here. Lidus agrees with the sages who forbid this practice because one who eats a goat roasted this way at the Seder meal appears to be violating the prohibition of eating a sacred offering outside Yerushalayim. Okay, they're going to think that you're bringing a carbon pesach. You're eating it outside of Yerushalayim, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about all over. And therefore, they said there is no doing this on the night of Pesach. Have a good Shabbos. Wonderful day.
Very good. Put your